Welcome to the Titanic, the greatest ship ever made, or so we thought. It took 2 long, grueling years to build this one-of-a-kind ship, but on April 10th, 1912, this luxury was available to the world. On the same day, the Titanic set sail from Southampton to Cherbourg, France, and finally to Queenstown, Ireland, before setting sail to its final destination, New York Harbor.
The RMS Titanic was one of the most luxurious ships of its time. It was one of the first ships to have a swimming pool. It also featured a Parisian cafe and a Turkish spa. However, the Titanic was mostly known for its reputation of being unsinkable.
The first-class passengers had the most space and luxury on the Titanic. They enjoyed 10-course meals every night and live music with an orchestra. And although the tickets were a fortune, this wasn't a problem for the new American millionaires, also known as new money.
It was a smooth night on the Titanic, and despite the ice warnings from multiple ships, the first-class passengers were still dining in pleasure aboard the mighty liner. The Titanic was still sailing swiftly at top speed when it received the warnings about the icy Atlantic, but the crew ignored them because they strongly believed in the ship's invincibility. Also, the captain and other corporate associates wanted to break the speed record currently held by the Mauretania.
When the Titanic struck the iceberg, most passengers were interested in the cause of the sudden bump rather than being scared. Even after the passengers were alerted of the danger, some passengers were still in much denial because they strongly believed in the liner's invincibility. First class women and children were boarded first. However, many women refused to get on because they wanted to stay with their husbands. Guards shot third-class passengers to make sure they didn't try to get on the boats. First-class passengers thought the third-class passengers would tip the boats, even though the boats would not be filled to capacity. The third-class passengers would not have had to do this if the ship had had enough lifeboats. The Titanic only had enough lifeboats for around half of the passengers.
The Titanic's maximum limit for lifeboats was 64. Chief designer Alexander Carlisle planned to have 48 lifeboats, which was more than enough for the amount of passengers, but the number was decreased to 20 to make the deck look less cluttered. It was also more expensive. These 20 lifeboats could hold 1,178 passengers, approximately half the passengers on the Titanic. 13 lifeboats were lifted onto the Carpathia from the Atlantic Ocean, which was as many as she could hold. 7 lifeboats were left to drift on the Atlantic Ocean, but everybody who made it onto the lifeboat made it onto the Carpathia safely.